to where?
All right, it's 8 o'clock. Let's call the Water and Lake Commission meeting for January 21st, 2026 to order, please. Please call roll.
Commissioner Grindy?
Yes.
Commissioner Rapaz?
Yes.
Commissioner Quirk?
Yes.
Commissioner Riopel?
Yes.
All right, approved minutes from previous meeting, January 7th, 2026.
I'll move. I'll second then.
Okay, please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Great. On item number 3, bills and payroll, authorized distribution of payment for accounts payable invoices and in the January 9th, 2026 payroll by issuing 38 checks totaling way too much money.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Grindy?
Yes.
Rapaz?
Yes.
Quirk?
Yes.
Riopel?
Yes.
Thank you. Nothing from the public. Report, Steve. And Mr. Gallstead texted me and said he might be a couple minutes late, so I think he's with Todd.
He's following him in the car.
In traffic, yeah.
They're stuck at the same stop sign.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, we're rolling.
so, well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, sir.
Just some quick updates. The Lime Pond project. Been trying to get a hold of MPCA. We know we're going to have to do some sampling of the lime sludge and have some testing done to see if it can be essentially, land applied. And the gal, I emailed the gal about, probably a week and a half ago, hadn't heard anything, so I finally sent another email yesterday, and she claims that she never saw the first email, but she's going to get back to us. And really the question for Brian and us at this time is, if they have an approved laboratory that would need to do the testing, we just want to make sure if we grab the samples, we get them tested, that it's going to be, a lab that MPCA is going to be fine with the results. So, and I guess depending on we'll have to see once we know that. The line might be a little hard right now, so I don't know how it's going to go to get samples, but we'll cross that bridge, I guess, when we get there here and see what we may have to wait at least till we get some 30-40 degree days to get a sample, if nothing else. And then on the lead service line replacement, PFA just came out with their final intended use plan, they call it. The lead service lines are still, in that fundable range to be funded. The good thing is, I guess, when we made our initial request, we were requesting about $120,000 in funding. I think what Department of Health and others have been seeing as they've been kind of, starting some of these lead service line works, is they've been coming in higher than anticipated for cost. So on the intended use plan, they actually have us down for about $200,000 in funding. So they basically automatically kind of bumped our funding from $120,000 to $200,000. So I think that's a good thing. So,
Good thing, yes.
yeah. So. And PFA is typically pretty good as far as funding as bid costs. So I mean, let's say we come in at 210. I'm assuming they would probably still fund it. But I'm thinking too they're going to have to, with just the amount of work out there, they're going to have to kind of keep their finger on that a little bit too to make sure they kind of spread out those funds, for all the different communities. But again, I thought that was good too, that they bumped our funding amount. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, our plans and specs, everything kind of required funding application. Everything will be due by March 31st. So kind of focused right now on a couple bigger projects, but once we get through those, lead service line will be one of our first projects we get going on here. So that's where we're at.
Any questions for Steve?
No. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve. All right, Ron, we'll move on. Old business, nothing. Department heads, Todd.
Morning. Got a couple things here. Water crews had a small water leak on 3rd Avenue Northeast. They were able to isolate that, and then they did fix it. last week, so wasn't a major leak, but they were able to shut it off. So snow removals kept us busy out at the DSC and out at the substations. Getting pretty high out at Industrial Park. Just about walk up over the gate there, so they got that knocked down. Inventory count, that's work in progress. That's the 27th they're coming here, so getting everything narrowed down. It's been a lot of work to get to the end here, but hopefully everything goes well. Working on some miscellaneous projects with Todd. They did do some work on the Business Highway 2. They got the anchors in there, so that was good. They got their wires in there, and they're waiting on the poles. So that's next over there. And putting some parts lists together, working with Todd for material ordering for this year's projects, and working on some AEDs. Ours are getting to the outdated where you can't get any battery packs for them anymore. So I'll be working on that. But other than that, that's about it for me.
Questions for Todd?
Thank you.
Brian?
Morning.
Morning, buddy.
Brian. We've collected all our required bacteria samples for the month, our TOC and alkalinity, our quarterly fluorides, and our first quarter disinfection byproducts. We're currently awaiting those results. Midco Diving performed the inspection of our river intakes on the 9th. It took them a little while to find the intakes down there, but once they did, the good news is they're in very good condition. No evidence of zebra mussels or anything of that sort, so good news there. I'm in the process of completing our Tier 2 emergency and hazardous chemical inventory report, and that's for the State of Minnesota Public Safety. And lastly, Lake Agassiz Financial Advisory Committee meets meets on Thursday, and also on Thursday, IPS, which is Integrated Process Solutions, is scheduled to be here for calibrations and perform some SCADA upgrades with our system.
Any questions for Brian?
No.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.
Bree?
Nothing else is question.
Carla?
Nothing else is question.
Jordan?
Good morning.
Morning, bud.
Looking at rebates for this round, I got 12 residentials totaling just a little over 1,800, so still a lot of people turning in weatherization projects they've done, either it's late summer or in the fall, so just want to thank the building inspection team for being really quick to turn those around and getting everything taken care of on those. Yesterday, Brianna and myself met with Pete from Frontier Energy to discuss a variety of things we've been working on here. So one of them is going to be that final 2025 rebate for American Crystal. So that was primarily all just lighting done in 2024, and that came up to about 305 kilowatt hours, which equated a little over 10,000. So that'll be our last one for 2025, and we'll start working on calculating 2026 savings. We had them take a look at some of our rebate applications, just areas where we can update some of the terminology just to meet the Minnesota TRM and some just areas from improvement. So he sent us a document on that we're going to review and take a look at. Got some goals for some low-income spending projects for this year, as well as some leads on some big upgrades, and planning on having another meeting in about a month and then having them come up here probably May or June and do a couple visits on some larger customers. And then besides that, looking ahead, next week I have that the Forks Builders Association annual meeting next Wednesday, and just a good opportunity to connect with developers and some contractors.
Excellent.
Any questions at all?
Any questions for Jordan? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Jordan. Corey?
Nothing else, just questions?
Okay, Mr. Keith?
You want me to go or you want to talk?
They can wait.
Well, I got a couple items. The first item was MMPA is going to be selling the wrecks for us. Crystal isn't going to be purchasing any this time around, but they said to keep them informed when the new wrecks come out. They wanted them a little newer than they were to meet the customer's needs. So that is in the process. They're going to put it out for bids and send us a check, whatever that amount ends up being. And so that's moving forward. The solar panel project, a lot of progress this past week or so. It went to planning and zoning, and they approved the special use permit, and then it came to the council last night, and they approved a couple things. So from that standpoint, I think we're in good shape as far as where they're going to build and able to move forward. As far as the project progressing, they're still working on their project application that they'll submit to us, and then at that time, maybe first part mid-February, then we'll start working on the contract that we've got Ron and Todd and others looking at, and then they'll also start working on the MMPA contract. And so things are moving along with that one. And then lastly, next Tuesday I'll be at an MMPA board meeting. So do you have any questions for me?
Any questions for Mr. Keith? Thank you, sir.
Yep.
We'll move back to reports. Todd.
I hear you said you were saving the best for last?
No, that'd be Ron.
That'd be Ron. He followed you. He followed you here.
Second best.
There we go. Remember, second place is the first loser, though.
Yeah, that's our Business Highway 2 lighting project. Contractor was out there last week and installed the foundations. The screw-in anchors for that, and then it worked very well when they had them covered up. Everything was pretty thought out there yet, so they went in fairly easily, and they finished pulling some wire as best they could. So pretty much we're just waiting on the poles. Haven't got an official date when they're going to be delivered, but I think we're still scheduled for February sometime on those. And then we did submit pay request number 1. That should have been in your bills and payroll. I think we're about 46% on that. Other than that, miscellaneous stuff, working on some LMT and meter socket drawings. As Keith mentioned, Central Middle School Solar, I'm reviewing that interconnection agreement. Should have some comments back on that later today. Working on the 2026 equipment and materials bids and specs. Got to work with Todd on that to get the materials figured out. Industrial Park sub, the VFW arena, parking lot and transformer move there. There hasn't been a whole lot of movement on that, but that's still going on that. Looking at some Blue Peak fiber drawings and a little control switch replacement out at the Industrial Park sub on one of the WAPA switches. Working with Todd on that. So that's what I have on my list.
Lots of things going on.
Yep, there is. It's that time of year.
Yes, sir. Any questions for Todd? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Mr. Gallstad.
Well, good morning. Not much to report. Keith already stole my thunder about the solar project. I'm just going through the contract form as he indicated. And the only other thing I wanted to say is Mr. Grindy looks really good in his new fresh haircut.
Like that, don't you?
Yes. You guys have a good day.
You too, buddy. All right, commissioner reports.
I'd just like to extend condolences to Ray Riccozzi.
Yes.
Lost his father here last week, and now they have some additional health issues going on in the family. So thinking about you, Ray.
Just one thing, I was talking to Keith about this. A lot of our customers in their mailboxes are going to find a insurance policy for a water line replacement between the house and the curb, correct? Before you take it out, check with your insurance company. It may be covered under there. before you. We're not affiliated it with any way, shape, or form. It's an independent company that's going around doing it, so please check that before you decide to pay the $3.82 a month or whatever it is.
Anything else? Mike's good, okay. Motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
I'll second.
Please call roll.
Grindy,
Yes,
Rapaz,
Yes.
Quirk,
Yes.
Riepel.
Yes.
thank you, everyone. Stay warm. It's 70, by the way, Mike, it's 75, slight breeze.